Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Oh yeah, we're painting again. And today we've got a few colours. Sap green, cerulean blue, ultramarine blue. Because what I find these two make a nice sky together. Some alizarin crimson, which we need to warm something up. Something dark, it's Mars black. It's got a brown hint to it. Some yellow ochre, and some white. And I'm going to paint a sky, because I took this photo of a sky, and I really liked it. So I'm going to do a version of it. I'm not actually going to paint it exactly, because I like a bit of freedom, to paint. Just going to put a little bit more white on my plate. I might have two whites. The reason I've done that, created a extra white, is 'cause I'm just thinking about my highlights later. So I'm going to use this one. Let's create our blue sky. That's quite nice for the top part of the sky actually. I might go a tiny bit lighter, just a tiny bit lighter. That's quite nice. So, I'm going for quite a wide painting today. So it just goes all the way along, here. I'll go a bit higher. About there. I think what I'd probably do, I'm sort of thinking as I paint. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. Just make it up. Nobody knows. I tend to paint every painting slightly different, really. I have like a basic plan of action. Put paint on the surface, that's about it. I'm just going to make a bit more sky colour. Does work nice though, the cerulean blue and the ultramarine blue does work nice. I came across that by accident, actually. It was a bit of an experiment, and I thought, I wonder what that would make when they're mixed together. And came out with this perfect sky blue. Still, maybe not perfect as in what you see, necessarily. But, pretty perfect for paintings. Because a lot of the times, where should we have our horizon? I'm thinking about there. Yeah, a lot of the times, paint and reality is not the same, so you have to get it as close as you can, because it's very difficult to paint light, isn't it? Yes it is. It is. Kind of talking to myself here as I'm painting, giving myself a lesson while I'm painting. Reminding myself, always reminding myself actually. Reminding myself what to do. I do enjoy painting in my sketchbook. It is fun. It's fun taking your sketchbook out and using it as well, and doing quick studies of things. I really like the Constable paintings in the Victoria and Albert Museum of some of the scenes that he did. I was amazed when I was looking at them actually. Some of the scenes looked really cool. Really good light. He was very good with lighting. Okay, yeah, I might bring my camera down a bit because I want to get this part as well. Because what we've got, I'm going to paint the land in as well. So what I'll do is this sky colour. I'll just give it a quick spray, just to keep the paint, prevent the paints from drying out. I use a little atomizer. Just give it a spray every now and then. It's been working quite well actually so far. I'm just using a plate and then paint away. Yeah, so using this colour, this sky colour, then what I'm going to do is go into a bit of yellow. Tiny bit of red as well. And then we're making it's almost a greenish greyish a greenish greyish blue. Who knows what it is, but it's perfect for the background, as you will see. As we've got, and I'm just running my finger along there to get rid of the hard line. I don't want a really hard line back there. Keep things soft in the distance, something like that. And then I'm going to come forward, put a bit more yellow ochre. Bit more yellow ochre in this. Bit of the blue, the yellow ochre. Bit of the white actually. That's not bad actually, not bad. It might need a bit more white in it. A bit more yellow in it. More of this bluey colour in it. I think I'm about there. There's a colour in front of this, this sort of colour. Got that on. And then blend that again with my finger, blend the edge, just soften it a bit. That's kind of faded away a little bit. I do want a bit more in that. So I think what I need maybe is a bit of green in it, a bit of blue. Green, bit yellow ochre. This might be a better colour than what I had, so we'll try it. Soften it again. There's a bit of paint there. Yikes. I'm just going to have a bit of my drink. I can relax, have a drink, relax, and do a painting. The perfect wind down. A little bit of the crimson, a little bit of the. I'm calling it brown, but it's Mars black. A little bit of the blue. This is going to be our dark. It's not that dark, really, but it's going to look dark next to that sky. I mean, not the sky, the that ground. I just want to put in a bit of a shape for these distant trees that are along here. Something like that, just giving it some shape. It's actually a train line about there. Okay, so I'm going to give that a bit of a... Actually, I was going to say I was going to dry that off, but I might as well paint the layer in front, just so we've got it all down. Got it all down. Bit of the green, sap green. You can make your green if you want. Your blue and yellow. Me, I'm quite lazy, so I love me a bit of sap green. Nice and easy. For a while I was using Viridian green because I saw that it was one of the paints that they always said to use in an old book that I had, because it is quite a useful colour, very useful colour to do different greens, because you can get like a bluey green and a warm green just by adding different colours in it. It's a very useful one. I'm not worried about that splodge there because I've got a tree there. Actually, I don't mind about a line here because there is a bit of a line there. A bit of a line because there's bushes and stuff there. And it will help create change in things. Right. Let's give this a dry and then we'll start putting in some of these really cool clouds, which I'm looking forward to doing. Okay, so I'm going to get my ultramarine blue, my crimson, bit of cerulean blue. I'm showing this. And some white. Maybe a bit more crimson. A little bit of the browny colour as well. The Mars black. I want to make a bluey grey. That's about right, actually. I think it's about right. It looks good. It looks good for the darkest bits, maybe. Maybe I'll put a bit of white in there as well. Then we can make a few versions. So if you just put a bit of white at the top of your dark, you can create another version, and then you can make another version by pulling in some of the colour, and then you've got like 3 versions. Lots of different versions of the same colour. And I'm gonna go bump, 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 bump. I'm looking at mass shapes, and I'm aiming for the darks. One of the things that I do is I squint my eyes, and then I can see just the darks really. Well, you can see the lights as well, but my mind's focused on the darks, so. If you want to see the finished painting and you want to use it for practice, then if you go to the end of the video and then just take a screenshot, and then you're welcome to use it for your practice. It can help. I know when I was learning a lot, I was doing paintings. I like to see what it looks like at the end, so I can copy. You learn a lot by copying, though. I learned a lot copying some of my favourite painters: Turner, Van Gogh, Monet, Munnings. Munnings, I tell you what, what a painter Munnings is. He is an amazing painter. I mean, they all are really, aren't they? All the names I said. A little bit of dark, a little bit there, a little bit there. Eyeing up these small ones, all these small ones in the background. We like those. Very good. See, what I look forward to is the lights. The darks are fun, but the lights are the fun bit. The highlights, they're the best. I want to try and get this sort of shape as a shape there. There, a little bit here. So we've just got the shapes in, and this cloud colour. You could use it. You could have used it to do these background bits if you want, or what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in my cloud colour. I'm throwing a little bit of red and brown and the blue. Just making it dark again, but there's these bushes and things on this bit. I thought actually that colour would work quite good for this, so I'll put that in as well while I'm playing with the paint. It's like a game, isn't it, when you're painting? I think it's like a game. It's a really fun game to play. You're probably thinking, oh, what's he talking about? When I paint, it's stressful. I actually used to think that when I first was learning. I thought it was pretty hard. What I found really hard for learning was what to do, what to paint. What should I paint? What painting is going to make me the best? The best I can be. What should I paint? You should paint what you like. I always think you should paint what you enjoy, because then you'll paint, won't you? Then I'm sure there's plenty of people that will agree with me, though. Painting's like a game. It's a fun game. Once you get going, once you've learnt a bit of colour mixing and stuff, then away you go, and you're painting all sorts. There we go, let's build that up a bit. There's a tree there. I've got this dark bit there. There's a tree there as well. And it's got quite a lot of stuff on it. There we go. Give my brush a rinse and some water. Finish off my drink as we were waiting for this to dry a little bit. It's not too bad actually. I'm thinking I might dry it. Yeah, I'll just run the hairdryer over it just so it doesn't pull up or anything. So, I've just grabbed a little bit of this yellowy colour that we used in the background, and then I'm throwing some white in there. A bit of that yellowy colour and the white. And I'm going to make myself, and then I'll have some yellow ochre as well in this white. And then more white. I'm not showing any of this, am I? There we go. Yellow ochre in the white. A bit more, about that. So we want sun hitting the cloud, so that's what the yellow ochre's in there for. And then this duller one, I'm going to start the highlights with a duller light, because not all of it is bright. In fact, what I might do as well is make a sort of a greyish light as well. Bit of blue in it. That's about right. That's what I wanted. More of a bluish light. A bit more blue in it, get it closer. I think that's quite nice. Anyway, so there's different lights now. Different light. A blue light, which is this one, blue light. Because I can see sort of a bluish light. That doesn't look very blue. Need more blue in it. That's the right colour. Right, what I'm going to do, just use my finger to soften that. And then down here, using my finger as the blender brush. Works pretty good actually. You can either do it like lifting the paint off like that when you're lifting the paint onto your finger, or you can just smudge it. You're basically lifting anyway. Whichever way you do it, you're lifting the paint away and smudging it. Smudging away a bit there. But this is a really good technique for getting your clouds. If you thought, I want a good easy technique to do clouds, here's one. It's got a bit more roundedness on this cloud. There's a really light bit there. I'll do that after. Some sort of roundedness shapes. I don't know the science behind the names of clouds, to be honest. Otherwise I could have really sounded intelligent at this point. Throwing out the name like, what, cumulus or something? I don't know. Who knows? I should know really, but never mind. So I will get some more light and smooth it over. There's all these lights on these clouds back here as well. Okay, a bit on the top of that one. Bit of a here. Bit that sticks up there and there, like that. Some here, just along there. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. We've got the first pass on. No, actually, I can see some there as well. Just want a little bit of a dark colour again, just to get some of these areas. It is a bit darker than what I've got. Good thing is though, you can start building your colours up layer after layer. You can do this in oils as well. Like if I was doing this in oils, I could do like part of it and then let it dry and do a bit more. Just put a bit of paint on my finger then. Just put that in there. Okay. That's got a colour there as well. Trying to make sure I don't miss some of the colours that I'm after. Some of the things, yeah, that's better. That needed a bit more dark there and there. Okay, just dry my brush. I mean, wash my brush. I'm using this brush because it's not perfect anymore. It's a Cotman brush, but it does break away a little bit, and I quite like that. So now I'm going to use this really white, and I'm going to start throwing in the highlights, because that's what I've been waiting for. I can't wait any longer. I gotta do the highlights. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so we've got light going there. Hitting that smooth round there. It goes around this as well, and then around there. And here, on this side, like this. That sort of goes in front, and there's a bit that goes there. Just tap it away a little bit. This goes all the way there. There's a bit that goes like that. Clouds are amazing, aren't they? They're so different. I've got these little wispy bits that go here. Got a really light bit there, really light there. It sort of goes around like that, and then sort of there as well. Soften that a bit. And we've got it growing, the light grows along there almost growing on that light. You get some really cool colours in amongst the cloud. So I'm sort of eliminating some of the light because there's so much of it, and I'm sort of bringing some of it into I'm sort of grouping it as well, grouping the light together. It is fairly detailed, but I mean even doing it fairly detailed, I'm still grouping and removing certain details. I find that's the biggest thing when you're out painting, is to edit what you see as much as you can. Still get the essence of what you're seeing, of course, and I find that better for painting outside myself, personally. I mean, I have stood out there and painted a church really detailed before. It was a bit hot though. I was boiled by the end of it. I was sat on this old wall. Yeah, it was very warm. And I had this feeling that this person was going to come and talk to me, and I really didn't want to talk because I was losing the light, because I had the light coming from one side and it looked really good, and I was like, no, don't come over, I was thinking as they was looking, and I was like, no, don't, I want to keep painting, I'm going to lose the light. It's funny, when you're painting outside, you have a whole new set of problems. Adding more problems on. It's not just about doing the painting, it's about more stuff, like being antisocial and scaring dog walkers. Just picked up a little bit of blue because I can see blue in there, a more of a blue light in there. I mean, it's got that, I don't know, transparency almost. I'm not sure. Anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. Right. We'll leave that a minute, because that sky is pretty close. It is pretty close. Bit of blue in that. Now what I might do is use this, I've got paint fingers. Now I'm going to use this liner. Pick up some pure white, and I'm going to use a bit of this to get this shape. Trying to get these rounded shapes. Of course, you can do that. You can really spend ages on your painting. Do all the little details that you can see. A little bit more here. There as well, I can see a good glow of light there. just got a bit of colour on my finger. I just want to do that. These roundedness. Sometimes, if you put too much detail in, you can lose the fluency of a painting. So you've got to balance yourself out a little bit. Balance between, it's a good word, fluency. I noticed I splodged a bit of white there, so I was just trying to cover that up. Anyway, I'm going to now use a little bit of the dark with my little brush, the same brush. Because I have to get this bit there, and then there, and there. Okay. I think that's a lot better actually. So I've added a bit more of that dark in that one side, and it's also here as well. Yeah, I do like that. Right, now I need to, I'm coming right forward now. There is, using a bit of yellow ochre and white. Maybe a little bit of this grey as well in it. I don't know if you can see that. So I want to use that for this. There's almost a line here. It looks like a line anyway. It goes along there. Just use my finger just to almost cut it across. Yeah, it sort of goes like that. A bit more yellow ochre in it, I think. Strange really, because I always used to think you don't see lines in nature. I used to think that. I was like, oh, you don't see lines in nature, so I can't put a line in. But you really do. You actually do see lines in nature. Lines of grass and stuff. Some of this green. What we're doing really is making the line finer. Using a bit of the old green, sap green and a bit of yellow ochre. Quick brush change. Oh, let me put those. We didn't put them bushes there. They're sort of a different colour to them, so that kind of helps. A bit darker than that though. Something like that. That'll do. That's not bad. So now I'm going to use just using a dark, and I could paint this tree in. I do like this tree actually, it's a really good one. I've taken loads of pictures of it, but I haven't really done a dramatic tree painting of this tree yet. I say yet, I'm gonna do one. Bit in there, bit in there. Try and get that angle of the tree. There we go. I haven't quite caught it, to be honest. Not quite. It's not bad though. I'll use my brush. I was going to leave this like this, but what I might do instead make up quite a dark green and just put some leaves on this tree, even though in when I was there wasn't any. I kind of like the idea of being leaves on it. I think you can leave it quite dark still, but just add a bit of green. And then I could always add a bit of light to one side of it. Got this tree as well, it's not quite as big. Wiggle out a few branches. And we can do some leaves on that one as well. I'll leave a bit of air in that tree. Leave those. I like it when you can see the sky through the tree, because that's what you can see mostly. You can see a lot of blue, but maybe it's an exaggeration there. But I do like that. Okay. And then I might do then. I'm going to tap into a bit of the yellow ochre and this sap green. Maybe a tiny bit of the red. Tiny bit of white as well, maybe. And then imagine the light hitting the leaves on one side. Let's have a look at what this colour looks like. That's not bad actually. Like I said, I don't want it to be too light anyway, because the light is the on the sky. Okay. A little bit more colour in there. Break that up a little bit, and then we've got quite a nice little scene there. The only thing that's really missing is all the birds that fly around there, because you get absolutely loads. I couldn't believe it, because I was there and I could hear this bird sound, and I was like, I think there must be a few birds around here, and there really was absolutely loads. It was like almost a tree fall. So maybe I'll put a little indication of a few birds there. Flying everywhere. There was a few on the ground as well. Maybe a couple over here. Indication of a few there. Maybe there's one there. Maybe there's one right up here as well. Well, there we go. There's a fun little sky with a few trees and loads of little birds. And you could do this one. No problem. So I'll say thanks very much for watching this one, and I'll see you at another one. Cheers, bye.